Yeah, hi geeks. This is my new video. So in my previous videos, we learned about how we can create a Node.js project using Typescript, and what are the different types of relations in MongoDB. How we can connect to MongoDB using the Mongo's npm package. So, if you're not watched my previous videos, please do watch those in my channel. They are available. And regarding this one course, so like in my previous video, I talked about TypeScript basics which are required for the project. Okay, so I just talked about the unique concepts that are introduced by TypeScript when compared to JavaScript in my previous video. Please do watch that as well before starting this. So in this video, we talk about how we can set up a React application. Okay, using create React app, and to start, before starting the project, so let's learn about these routes. Okay, how we can organize routes in actual project. Okay, let's start creating a JavaScript project. Um, sorry, React project. So let's use a create React app application package. So in px create React app. Let's say we use learning. Okay, for learning, it's a learning application name, and then we use TypeScript as a template. So just set up the basic project structure with TypeScript. It will take some time. Okay, I'll just pause the recorder till then. So now we have successfully installed React with TypeScript template, and this is the folder structure. And as you can see, it's populated default configuration values. So you can change this configuration according to your project. Okay, let's start the project. Okay, let's run the project just to make sure everything is uh, working. Now, what is the error? Okay, I'm just in a different directory, so switch to this directory and just run it. Yeah, so everything looks fine, and so let's go to app.tsx. Okay, so this is the place where we set up our routes. Okay, organize our routes and create auth routes and the protected routes. And okay, so let's start by creating a class and run the routes. So let's say it's an app component. Okay, uh, class app component and expense React component. Okay, so it's just gonna run the return. So we have to install a npm package called React Router DOM to deal with the routes. So it's a famous package for routing. So let's install that package. Okay, before we set up the routes. React Router DOM. Okay, and don't forget to install type definitions for that package because we're dealing with TypeScript here. Okay, we are good here. So let's reload it and save it, and we're going to open it again. Okay. Uh, let's start with the routing. Okay. So React Router DOM provides a browser component. Okay. It's a component basically that renders a match route. So let's say browser router. See, since we install types, VS Code automatically gives suggestions for you. So this is a browser router component. So it will just return you the router component that matches the current URL path. So let's say we define our routes. So uh, path should be uh, let's install first the route here, and it will suggest you the prop values. So let's say this is posts. Okay, we are going to render it this route. If we get post URL path, and this is comments for the post. Okay, and we have to mention a component to render when we get result. Okay, that's important. Post component. Okay, let's add comments component. So we have to create this component. So I'm going to quickly create these components. Okay, let's say we create this folder called components, and let's create. We have this post component. PSX. And similarly we can just class post component extends react dot component return. Let's say we just return some span here called post. Export default post component, and of course we have to import it. Just import using this quick effect. So we have this post component. Now we can now import this component here, and let's similarly create another component called comments component of tsx, and let's just copy paste this and change the name of here comments component and comments. Okay, so guys, now we have two components, post component and comments component. So that will be rendered based on the route match. Let's run it. Okay. Okay. we don't get the errors. Okay, we don't have anything at the root part. Let's try post and see. As you can see, we're able to see this content and comments, and we have this comments. Okay, so guys, just renders the route that matches the URL path, and browser route may return a many routes that matches. Okay, meaning it may return more than one route. What I meant is, let's say we give this post forward slash comments. Okay, so in this case, the browser route, if matches two components, if you visit this comments, for example, if I type post bar comments, okay, see, it first matches the post, then the comments, because as you can see, the route is post, so here it will find the post, okay, and it just renders the first one, and again it will match the comments because we visited post comments, and again it render comments component. Okay, uh, so if you are not using a switch component provided by React Router DOM, if your browser if you're using browser router, it's a little bit difficult to manage. So as you just saw, like it renders both the component. Okay, so you need to make sure, like you should not render multiple components in your project. Okay, that's why we have a switch component. Okay, provided by React Router DOM again. So all your routes should be within a switch, and this what a switch does is it renders the first route that matches the best. Okay, so it will not going to return you multiple routes. Okay, let's take a same example, this one, and let's say I visit the post and commands. Okay, so now it just matches the post, and it just renders and returns from there. Okay, it is not going to render this comments component. Okay, but guys, so what you need here, actually you are typing post and comments, but you are getting post here. That's not right. So what you can do is, okay, you have to match the path exactly. Okay, so you can just mention this prop here. Okay, so if we give this prop to the route component, okay, it is going to match the path exactly, and as you can see, if you give exact, and even the routes are matched exactly, and the switch gonna return only one route which we require. So see, as you see, it's going to return comments, and now if I hit post, and we get posts. So hope you understood. Make sure okay, you enclose your routes within this switch. Okay, so now we learned how switch and browser route works, and what is the importance of the switch component in routing. Okay, so let's add some of the routes. Okay, which are necessary, like for example, to get the root components here. So let's quickly create a dashboard component. So I'm going to just copy paste this component, and I'm gonna change the name. Okay, I'm not bothering here too much about the content of the components. Okay, just wanted to make sure like concepts are well understood. Okay, we have a dashboard component, but still, if we visit the root path, we don't get that component. What we can do is in those cases, so we define uh, path here, and let's say visit. Okay, you can directly create the component at this forward slash or okay. A good way to do is just redirect if you get this root path to dashboard components. Okay, so for that we get render prop, which is a function. Okay, so here it accepts a function, and we are gonna return redirect to where? To dashboard, right? Yes. So just wanted to tell you about this dashboard component, which is getting redirected once we hit this one. Did I do something wrong? Render is a function. Okay, I just forgot to enclose this route tag. So what it does is when you visit the route URL, it is just going to redirect it to the dashboard. Okay, let's say I visit this tree, you see. So okay, in this way, if you visit route or route your path, and we can just redirect to any URL path you want. And okay, so just make sure all the project routes are present at the top, and you define your route here, route here, and then okay, if none of the path matches, let's say route, okay, any path other than all above mentioned, you're going to just render a not found component, okay, or just mention a component here. No need of render not found component. Okay, so let's say we create this not found component and new folder. Let's say these are the common things, it's not related to, let's say we just create it here. Okay, not found component .css, and again I'm just gonna test it and rename it. Not found, not found, not found, and I'm gonna import this. So this is how you should organize your routes. So if I just type some dummy route, we should redirect to a 404 page. Okay, that's one of the basic responsibility of the routes. Okay, so now we have defined our routes, and how to redirect to routes, and how we can redirect to not found routes when none of the route matches. Okay, and so just organize your routes. Okay, if you want to have better way of organizing route. Make sure like for post, for example, just create a function for each of the routes, so those function will return routes. So let's say just gonna tell you the idea here. For example, let's take these two routes which are related to post, and just create a function that renders these routes, and so just call that function which renders this function like something like this. Okay, just to make sure like you should not be confused in your project, like if you get too many routes like this render users. So yeah. So instead of defining everything, okay, I'm not going into create those function and return it, just create a function and return these components. Okay, so now we define the routes, and let's say what might be the next thing that we need in a project. Okay, the next thing will be we define auth routes. Okay, and protected routes. Auth routes in the sense that those routes which don't require authentication, that are rendered before login. Okay, in the sense just do not confuse the name, like auth route doesn't mean that requires authentication. Here just auth route means that are rendered in auth layer, means a login layer, and protected routes are the routes, okay, that require authentication. Okay, so I just created those functional component that renders these route components, which actually checks whether user is logged in or not. So I'm not gonna spend too much time in writing this code which I've already written. Instead, I will explain the code so that it will be better. Okay, so let's create a new folder called common. Okay, uh, or yeah, what is the good place to put these route components? Component, it should be within the components, and let's create a new folder, and let's put it these under common. Okay, or a route helper or something like that, whatever way you need it. Let's rename it to route. I feel that I'm feeling a little weird to have common components and route component. Okay, and let's create a new file called auth route. We don't have a layout. Okay, so let's not create a layout, or let's create a layout. No worries. Let's have a auth layout. What layout does, guys? So just renders the children. Here the children in the sense the tags which are below its components. So let's create we created this and so let's say we get the props. The good way to go to is to create an interface called props. So like here children is nothing but React node that it gets. Okay. uh, Node React, and we have to specify those props here. So just gonna have its own view and just renders the children here. This is our layout. Let's create another layout, new file called protected layout.tsx. Let's see it afterwards. So here in that layout, we are just gonna render it, the children. Okay, so let's change the path and okay. So this is our auth route, which basically renders a component that it gets within auth layout. Okay, so let's I will explain in detail what it means. Is let's say we have login routes. Here we have auth route. Okay, let's comment out these things first, and let's suppose I have my login screen. Okay, which is an auth route, authentication route, which doesn't require authentication and just renders in auth layout. Okay, and so path will be the login, and this is our component. Okay, let's create our component here, this login component, and the tsx, and as I earlier said, like I do not going to bother about the content of the components. I'm going to import this component and this auth here. As you see now, like this is the auth route. So, okay, so in React, like I'm going to talk about the components, class components, more detail in later videos. So the point of this video is to give how route should be organized, and then we go to components. Then I worry about how components should be rendered. Okay. So these exact path and components are nothing but the props which are passed to this component auth route. So this auth route now receives these props. Let's go to this auth route. Okay, so if it accepts these props, so as you can see, we are using the rest here. Okay. So if I'm not familiar with REST, just watch my previous video. We receive a component that we are passing here, and exact and path will be passed to this REST. And if just make sure like if you are not providing components, we have to make sure like we have to return something, so returning null. And finally we have to return a route. Okay guys, so previously we were returning a route instant, as you can see clearly. So this component somehow need to make sure like we render this route. Okay, so that's what we are doing, we are rendering that route. Okay, and with all parameters that we are passing, the rest now includes this exact and path. So now we are, it's similar to giving exact here and then a path here. Okay, so that's what this line does, and then we just render the component that we got. This is the component guys. So just we are renaming this variable here in TypeScript. So this component which we are passing, we just capitalizing it and putting it into this variable, and now just we are rendering this component here within the auth layout. So now that login will be rendered within the auth layout. Let's see. Hope everything is good. If you get any errors, let's see how we can resolve that one. Cannot compile under isolated modules. Did we do something wrong? Mm. Okay, let's say protected layout.tsx. So let's not create this one. Just problem during compilation, obviously. Sorry for that. And so now we have successfully compiled, and let's visit this login. Okay, as you see, auth layout and then the login. So what we have put in auth layout, this auth layout, and it just renders the children. Yeah, children is nothing but this component with those props, which is nothing but this login component here guys. This login component has login text here, which is displayed here. Okay, so hope you understood this auth route. Okay, so guys, we just understood you have created the component, but you're not actually checking the user is logged in or not. That's the thing here. So you need to make sure like if the user is not logged in, then only render it. And if user is logged in, obviously you are going to you have to redirect it to dashboard. Okay. So how we are going to do it? Okay. Let's say we have a dashboard for now. Okay, dashboard is something which you wanted to show if the user is logged in. Okay, and it should be a protected route. So I'm just defining it to explain the auth route now. So let's say we have a function here, just gonna return is logged in. It's a placeholder guys. Basically you need to create your own function that checks whether user is logged in or not based on your authentication schemes, like to check in browser, like whether token is stored or not, etc. So here I'm going to just create a function that's going to tell you user is logged in or not. For auth routes, we need is logged in to be false, and so I'm just going to create a React fragment here, and if user is not logged in, then only render it here. Okay. So this AND statement, which will be executed only if and only if this is true. It's and in JavaScript gonna return the last condition that is executed before, that is nothing but here hot layout. It is just going to return hot layout. Yeah, so basically now what it should do, what should return this hot layout. And let's see, we are getting error. What is the error? Yup. Error says close it. Stupid mistake. Okay, let's see. We just display this hot layout. Suppose if a user is not logged in, what you do? If he is logged in, if the user is logged in, and if user hits login, if he is logged in, it should be redirected to root path. So that should be our dashboard. Okay, I'm not going to create again a layout. Okay, I have already created this hot layout. Hope this dashboard will be in a default layout. So I'm not going to create that layout. I just going to render it so that you are familiar with the concept. Later you can try to create a default layout under this layout and render the all remaining components within the default layout. Okay, if user is logged in, what I do is I just gonna redirect to uh, dashboard here, the root path. Okay, did I do it right? Yeah. So now obviously it's not going to it's again going to return this one, because if he's it calls is logged in, which is a false. Now let's make it true, because this is a situation where a user visits a login page even after he is logged in. Okay, so now what we can expect is so if you type login, so it should be redirected to dashboard. So what it does is, so you visited login, okay, which is an author functional component, class component, and it came here, and it is trying to run the render function which you have given, which is basically this one. And just check is logged in, which is a true. Just redirect it to this root path, and it again matches this path, which is root, and redirects to dashboard. So guys, that's all it does. Okay, this is a simple way of creating auth routes. Okay, and similarly you can create a protected route. Okay, so basically here you have to create a similar component which is a protected route. Okay, so that's gonna render if the user is logged in. If he is not logged in, it is going to just redirect you to login page. Let's quickly create that one. Okay, protected route.tsx. Okay, as I said already, it's taking a little more time if we gonna write it. Just gonna copy the component which I have already built before I start recording this video. This is basically what I have did in my project, so I just copied it. And let's copy this function quickly, and I'm not gonna create the default layout. Okay, just try it out. Okay, we have our layout, so I'm just gonna import it. Okay, I'm just gonna explain it, you will find it. It's similar to our route. Okay, so I want dashboard to be protected because dashboard is something which user visits after the login, right? So I'm just gonna copy paste this and I'm just gonna import the component, guys. So now, as you can see, I want this route dashboard to be protected. For that, I just created a class component, okay, that takes a component similar to auth route and all the other parameters like exact, path, etc., whatever you pass. Just put it into this rest and as you see, it just renders a route, and if the user is logged in, then only render that. If it's not, redirect to login. That's it. So let's see. Just pause and watch. It is similar to auth route. Okay. Just need to make sure like you're checking whether actually user is logged in. If so, just render it. If not, redirect to login. That's the thing. Here you have to I'm just mimicking is logged in. Basically, you have to check whether actually the browser has a token. So now we have defined the protected the route I'm giving through, so it should render me the dashboard. See, now it's just rendering dashboard. Let's say is logged in, user is not logged in. Okay, and let's give it a false, and what it should do, it should redirect me to login. Oh yeah, but as you can see, we redirected to login, and what it does, it finds a login component which is an auth route. Okay, here we are giving true, and again, we are just redirecting here, and again the dashboard it will be an infinite loop. Now we are need to make sure like to we give some same value on both the places. Okay, is logged in should be same because of obvious reasons. Protected route is false and on route should be false. Okay, now let's visit dashboard. As you can see, we just redirect to login page. Okay, so that's it, guys. It's very simple. If user is not logged in and if you're trying to visit some route which is protected, just redirect it to login. So all you need to make sure like just need to call or just put it this protector and auth route components similar to the normal components, and those components will take care by themselves. And again, if you hit some dummy routes, okay, and it is a not found route, and if you hit this URL and which it will redirect to dashboard, again it will find dashboard is not the component which should be rendered before login. So it just redirects you to login page. Hope guys you have understood. Please pause and watch. These are the basic things which are required for your project. Okay, this auth route and protected routes. Okay, and next time just gonna quickly talk about the transitions which we can prevent while routing from one component to another component. So it's a pretty simple. I'll just explain it in few minutes. Okay, let's say user is not logged in, and as you can see, we are rendering a login component here. Uh, okay. Uh, let's say user is logged in. Okay, let's say user is logged in true, and let's give author of the same value here. So basically guys, I'm explaining how we can prevent transitions from one route to another route. This is quite useful. For example, when you fill the form and user has filled and want to navigate away, or accidentally he clicks something else and that is going to close, you just need to warn him that something you're going typed in, but you're visiting another page and you're losing the existing data which you have just typed in. So how we can do that? Okay, so guys, a React router DOM will provide something concept called prompt. Okay, so but I am not going to recommend that. I don't know how your what your project requirements are. The prompt basically let's if we use the links provided by the React root or DOM, then only those prompts will work. Okay, what I meant is there are components like link. Okay, so this is basically a component provided by React also DOM. So if you are putting some links here that lead us to a different page, then only we can prevent it. It's not gonna work when you refreshing the page or you're directly closing the tab or coming back going forward. Okay, so let's use some basic functions that are provided by JavaScript to prevent route transition. So basically in most cases in my projects, like I have used on before load which returns false value. Let me show you that. Dashboard component that should be given after the component did mount. Okay, and what it does is window dot on before unload. Okay, I'm going to return you the false, so it's not going to unload it. If you visit it, let me show you. So I have visited a dashboard here, and see, I click the browser back, and it just wants you. Are you sure you're going to leave the site because you just typed in something? Okay, if you just click leave, and it's going to redirect you to previous URL. Okay, and similarly, if I am not sure it's gonna work on close, no, it's not gonna work on close. Sorry guys, and let's say I visited post phone not phone of course, and let's say dashboard. And even though if I click forward here, if I could find forward, and it's going to prevent it. Okay, even if I click refresh, it's gonna ask you. Okay, reload. Are you sure as reload it? And if I'm gonna go back, oh sorry, it's gonna go back. I'm gonna ask this, guys. So you may notice just you didn't get that message when I just clicked back. Reason would be, see, you're not getting it. The reason would be just don't go crazy. You have to browser need to make sure like you have typed in something in the content. So still I didn't touch this part of a browser. You just now click it. Okay, see, we were just focused out and you click something on dashboard. Now try to visit the dashboard and it will definitely ask. So many times we just find it like we just reload it and just go back, go far, go back, go back. You might be confused like why this browser is not asking. No, it's not asking because it's identified not done anything in the content. So now I click here and then I try it back and then it asks. Okay, that's it guys. Hope you taken most out of this tutorial, and hope this is useful and it should be useful. I'm Based on my experience, I have told the things that are basically needed for your project. And thanks, subscribe it, share it, and please do watch my previous videos. Thank you.